Hello, classmates. I apologize for my coarse voice in advance as I've gotten sick this weekend. For my current event, I'll be talking about the exposure to toxaphene and other hazardous chemicals in Brunswick, Glenn County, Georgia, which only came up to surface recently with official researchers in September of 2023. Brunswick is located southern of Georgia, and 60% of its population is African American and has higher poverty and low-income family rates, especially near chemical plants and hazardous sites. Formerly home to heavy contaminated toxic waste sites, Brunswick has undergone many fires and explosions at manufacturing plants that exposed its residents to hazardous chemicals and toxic vapors. Today, it is home to 4 Superfund sites and 12 hazardous waste sites near residential areas. As cancer rates, birth defects, and other diseases are on the rise, residents of Brunswick question whether these high rates are a result of years of exposure to chemical emissions from chemical plants and hazardous waste sites. Glenn County Commissioner Alan Booker also gives his testimony about lack of information relating these plants and the chemicals they are exposed to. He also has always wondered why members of his family were constantly sick or suddenly passing away. This study is long overdue, he says. This public outcry for answers resulted in researches being conducted at Emory University. 100 blood samples from Brunswick residents were drawn and tested. Results showed that many participants had higher than average levels of toxaphene, which is banned now in the United States but was once manufactured in Brunswick. What is toxaphene, you might ask? Toxaphene is a pesticide that can cause many chronic effects if exposed to, such as damage to the lungs, nervous system, and kidneys. It can ultimately cause death. Those test results also showed higher levels of PCP, which is a man-made organic chemical that can cause skin rashes, cancer, and reproductive system problems. The highest levels of PCB were also discovered in Atlantic dolphins, which means this contamination has gotten to the seafood that the people are eating in those areas. Rachel Thompson, Executive Director of the Glenn County Environmental Coalition, says her goal is to increase public awareness about the chemicals they are exposed to seek medical attention if symptoms arise, and that may be a way to protect the community. Brunswick has been in the industrial pollution shadow for so long that its soil, water, and air quality have been heavily impacted and polluted. Although multiple agencies such as the Environmental Protection Agency, the Environmental Working Group, and Georgia's Environmental Project Declaration are involved in cleaning up these superfunds and the hazardous waste sites, the process has been lengthy, and not much information has been given to the public and no awareness was spread. Thus, the residents are getting sick and are dying as a result of hazardous chemical exposure. The truth is, based on the pollution legacy of Brunswick, getting rid of these hazardous chemicals that have leached to the soil and water sources can take decades. The residents have the right to know what they are up to so they can decide for themselves. The EPA, along with other agencies, have been implementing cleaning and removal actions. However, as we saw, contamination have reached soil, seafood, potable water, and the air they breathe. Residents are surrounded by emission and toxic chemicals. Thus, evacuation might be the solution that will be most effective for the public health to properly treat the affected sites. This will not only protect the life of the current Brunswick residents, but also those of upcoming generations. Thank you for listening.